Welcome to day 3 of the GBP JPY market recap, right? So this is a recap of the London session, the pre-London to London open session. So quickly, we'll just look at what the daily did or what the daily was doing. We see that there are multiple rejections around this area. This area had multiple rejections. So this particular candle was an impulse move. It drove into this area, but failed to close above 165,850. And the next candle, this was the next candle week top. This week was during the US CPI news on Tuesday, on the 13th of September. And it drove up, tapped into this same area, took liquidity to most possibly drive down, similar to what these other candles have done. So you see that this candle, tap liquidity, drive down. This candle, tap liquidity, drive down. This other candle, tap liquidity, drive down, right? So that's that's I think what this candle is about to do. That's from the weekly. On the daily, similar to our previous recap, you could see, so I will just put the levels here, right? So you could see that this was a high, this was a lower high. Even though this was a high, it was much lower than this other high. This one is a much lower high. So there's that bearish trend that we are seeing on the daily, right? And remember, the daily trends are like trains. They're like big trains. You can see them from afar and you can really stop them, right? So we have seen this and we are predicting. Remember what we said when we did this recap 2 days ago, that there's that drive down, that we're looking at bearish momentum to most likely mirror this candle, and that's what's happening, right? So now this candle rejected the same area that these two candles rejected from, and you could see also that, for instance, when this candle moved up, okay, even starting from here, it moved up, it rejected this area, and it drove down, right? The same thing, moved up, rejected this area, drove down strongly. Again, it moved up, rejected the same area, drove down, right? So we are most likely going to see a drive up, rejection, push down, right? And that's what we are already starting. And this candle was the giveaway candle. This 13th of September candle was the giveaway candle. It drove up, it rejected this area, and it's driving down, right? Okay, so now yesterday, let's interpret what happened yesterday. So now this candle, let me remove this. So this was yesterday's candle, and mind you, my time is GMT. So this was yesterday's candle, right? So it drove up, it closed below this level, this support. So there's a support level here on the daily. It closed below that support level, right? And there's a clean candle to be mirrored. So this, assuming this was 30 minutes, you would expect the next candle to wake up and drive down. And it's the same thing here, right? Because the charts, these are fractals. So the same way you would interpret the daily, that's the same way you would interpret the 4 hour. The same thing happens on the 1 hour, 30 minutes, and the rest of them, right? So assuming this was 30 minutes or the 1 hour, you would expect this next candle to just wake up and drive down to mirror this clean candle, right? And that's what happened, right? So we'll look at the 4 hour. Exactly. 4 hours, so clean, right? And I trade the 6 a.m. GMT 4 hour candle, right? Which is this big candle right here, this big ass candle, right? Now, this candle, this was the 4 hour candle. This candle, right? This was when the daily started. So it drove down, went up, rejected this same support level, or you could push the support level to here. It rejected that support level. There was a rejection here to drive up. There was a rejection here to drive up, right? So as soon as we broke down, there was a retest of that level. And if candle had broke into this zone, you would have said this was a fake out to continue back up. But no, it closed below. The next candle, this is the 6 a.m. candle, now wicked up, respecting the high of this candle and began to break the low. So assuming you were trading from the 4 hour, this was a perfect entry when the low was broken. So you'd have had something like this. Your stop would be here. Your TP would be here. Your first TP actually would be here. So this is 1:1 1.5, right? At least to mirror this candle down to the daily area here, right? Okay. And this was what happened. Or to mirror the full candle itself, you could have extended it here, whichever way, whichever one you want, it's still fine. But I'll stick with that level, right? Okay. But I don't trade from the far, but I just use this for direction, right? So we go down to the 1 hour, right? So now it gets very interesting and it gets easier here, right? So does it push down? We know that we are looking for bearish continuation, following from the information we got from the weekly and the daily, as well as the 4 hour, right? So now this is the 7 a.m. GMT candle. This is your 2 a.m. Eastern candle, right? 2 a.m. Eastern 1 hour candle, right? Now it closed. Look at weak bullish or strong bullish. We just start consolidating, but then there was a massive candle that wiped out this support, indicating that, wow, I think that, and this was just right before London Open. This was London Open candle. This is the 8 a.m. GMT 1 hour candle. That's your 3 a.m. Eastern, right? Now, this pushed up, but then there was a massive bearish trend without even a wick to the upside. So this was the perfect confirmation that we are going to continue down in line with the overall trend, right? And then there's a clean candle to the left. So you can see something like this, that there was a clean candle that would have been mirrored, right? Something like this, right? So there's a clean candle there. So as soon as this candle broke, this was your confirmation to take a sell. You have taken a sell immediately, it broke, but for me, I've noticed that sometimes that the 8 a.m. just wicks, may retrace badly before dropping. So I was just waiting for this low to be broken, right? That's still fine. It just depends on, but now I'm looking at it. A perfect sell that I've been here, but then this was where I took my sell as soon as the low was broken. My stops was here. And TP was here. So 1:1.2. So this makes sense, right? Now, as this candle started dropping down, man, it dropped down quickly, right? I brought my stops to the high of this candle, right? Right. So now when it hit here, I secured, right? But then something I've learned from doing these recaps, is that the size of the candles really matters. So you can see, so assuming I had a run, and let's say from next week, I'll try to attempt having runners or leaving runners, right? So next week, I'll see that there's a big candle. So this candle, massive, big candle, massive, big candle, right? Now, but this candle, this was the 9 a.m. 9 a.m. East, 9 a.m. GMT or 4 a.m. Eastern. Now, big candle. This one closed small candle, rejecting here, right? So I would, assuming there are runners, I would have secured more runners upon the close of this candle, right? Now, the next candle closed bullish, I would have secured more runners. As soon as this next candle start breaking the high, I would have secured more runners or even all my runners, right? So this is something that I'm learning, something that I've learned today, right? That the size of the candles do matter, right? So that's something that I think that you can take from this. So this would have been the trade for the day, and you are done. This was just a 1 hour trade. You are done, right? And you call it a day. At least for me, I'm done. It's almost okay. It's London Open. It's New York Open now, and well, I'm done for the day. So I think with that, I will come back on Monday and attempt everything again, right? But for Monday, what I'm looking out for Monday is I want to see how this price reacts to this daily level here, right? So if it closes strongly below, then there'll be continuation. So either fill this candle here and then fill this here. But if candle rejects, we'll see whether there would be like a small bullish candle to continue the downward trend or to continue up, depending on the size of that Monday daily candle, right? So we could have something like this happening here. Maybe Monday candle may close, depending on how strong today's candle is. Monday candle may close weak bearish, then Tuesday candle may close bullish, right? And we'll then move up, right? But we'll see how Monday candle closes. I'm expecting, because there has been 4 days of bearish momentum, we may have this minor retracement, and then people will be like buys. But you know, depending on the size of that candle, we'll see how, whether we'll be anticipating further sales upon the break of the low of that candle, or whether we'll be anticipating buys having made the V pattern, right? So I hope we learn a lot, or well, me, I'm actually learning a lot from these recaps. These recaps are mostly made for me. And if you find them interesting, please leave a comment in the chat box and we'll get back to you. Thank you. And do have a great weekend. See you on Monday.